that was awkward. What's going on, guys? So it's been an incredible day so far. I'm sure by now you've already seen the video on the McLaren 675 LT. You guys all know that I've had an opportunity to experience it several times before, but now being able to really focus on the car and being able to film the beauty and the sounds and everything with it, I have fallen head over heels in love with this car again. Today's video basically is, I want to show you guys how we made this video and what we were able to do and pull off in just a short amount of time. And first I want to thank O'Gara Coach of Westlake Village. Those guys over there, they've always taken care of us, they've taken care of me, and I'm so thankful for the relationship and what they've been able to do. And they loaned us a 675 LT to make this little mini movie, and now I just want to show you guys how we did it. So let me introduce you to the guys. All right, guys.
All right.
Quick little introduction. This right here, Armando, I met him two years ago at Galpin.
Yep.
Right? Is that where it was?
It was at Galpin.
So Armando has the best filmmaking
you're
camera
too kind.
tech review channel, Mondo Bites. You guys got to check him out on YouTube, man. We've been trying to do a video for a long time.
This is like, bro, 2 years in the making.
I know, right?
I
hit Armando up the other day. I was like, hey, do you want to go have fun with a McLaren? He was like,
who doesn't want to have fun with a McLaren, right?
You brought Connor.
What's up?
So he's a new member of your team,
yes,
right?
He's a new member. He also has kind of a YouTube channel, I guess.
No. I work with him, and I met you today.
Exactly.
What a pleasure.
And you already got to go for a ride in the 675 LT.
I'm about to do it again.
One thing I wanted to share with everybody is kind of like the thing with what we're doing is we're creating like a little mini movie, which they've already seen by this point.
Right.
And I want to show them, kind of how we made it, some of the behind the scenes, how we pulled off some of the shots.
The tools.
And some of the tools that we used to make it. And the first thing that we have is probably one of the shots that most are wondering is this whole video game like view of the 675 LT. So let's show them.
So this is an interesting thing. It's an Insta360 Evo, and it wasn't actually my idea. It was actually Connor's idea. So maybe you should explain more about it. So I guess explain your vision. It's like a video game,
yeah,
right?
Essentially it's like, you ever played like Forza Horizon, or the regular main series Forza games. They always have that third person perspective right over your car. It's a sick looking shot, but it's kind of hard to do in real life because you'd have to have like a drone trail you and it'd have to be perfectly connected. But now with the 360 camera, it masks out the pole automatically, so you can't see the pole. So you get this trippy looking third person perspective on a beautiful car. So
yeah, so this particular camera I'm in love with. I've been wanting to do something really crazy with it for a while. I think this is the perfect idea because when I came out here today, I told you guys that I was going to put it on top of the roof and kind of get the whole bird's eye view that you would get in like the modern day backup cameras and things, which is awesome. But to give it that, like you said, Connor, the Forza kind of look.
Yeah, exactly.
This is epic. I love it. And there's some other shots that we're going to do with this where it's hanging out the window, getting some close up of the wheels.
This thing's a trippy camera, man.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But that camera, the software on it is where it thrives. Like the ability, it's stitching in real time. Once you actually get your footage on your phone, you can actually like view the playback and hit record on the playback and record the action that you're doing with the camera. So if you're holding the camera and you're wanting to pan and see another angle, it's going to actually move with you and record that edit so that you don't have to do it in Premiere. You can actually, it'll keyframe it for you in the software.
And I know you're doing some After Effects magic. Because with the software, you can mask the pole out, but I'm not that great with After Effects, but I know Buddy's doing some After Effects where he's actually taking this whole entire piece out. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure if he's gonna show you how he does it in the edit.
Why? Why didn't I do the mask out? I have no excuse. Clearly I forgot to mask it out. So yeah.
But I'm sure it's fairly simple because this is a static shot, so it's not moving.
Yep.
So
thankfully, this camera, it knows to go ahead and delete this pole.
It's pretty amazing.
So I don't have to worry about this. What it doesn't know is what to do with this mount right here.
Yeah, because you added this contraption here.
Exactly. This allows us. This is the Fat Gecko mount that that has saved me many GoPros, which I have unfortunately lost several. 1 second. Hold for sound. But thankfully now Adobe has a feature in After Effects that it's perfect timing, by the way.
Content aware.
Yeah, the content aware feel that I can actually just boop, 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 select it, track it, and boom, it's gonna be gone.
Gotta get rid of those pimples on my face. Content aware, you know what I mean?
All right, so should we shoot this shot?
Yep, I'm gonna try to keep up with my, soccer mom vehicle, the Audi SQ5. I don't know if I can, but let's do it, man.
Please, you know you can. Let's go. So we went from the USR to the C200.
Oh, it's not plugged in.
It's not plugged in. See, this is noob mistakes, Why isn't it working? Well, it's not plugged. It's not plugged in. All right.
Fair enough.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. That.
This is a McLaren. It'll be a disservice to film it with any other camera aside from a cinema camera, obviously like RE Red or a C200.
Yes.
In RAW.
In RAW, yeah.
Mistake number 2. You got to do your research on your cameras. I knew the situation. I know what it's like when you're shooting with cars. This is something that I should have thought about, and we didn't bring any stabilization. And unfortunately, with the Canon C200, that particular camera, and I didn't know this going into it, the Canon C200 doesn't have IBIS, which is internal body image stabilization, which ultimately helps with shaky footage. Those little micro jitters, it helps take it away by doing its own stabilization within the camera itself. There are some lenses that have optical stabilization, but that's not as good as in-body stabilization. But the other thing that we didn't do is I didn't bring a gimbal with us that day, and so we were doing all of our shots handheld. And even though that it was a big camera, I thought that there would be enough stabilization within that camera itself, but it doesn't have any. So ultimately what we were left with was a lot of shaky footage.
This is super shaky. Does the other lens have IS?
No, I don't have any lens.
Oh.
Throwing a warp stabilizer effect from Premiere onto the footage, it just didn't do enough. It made it really like wobbly and kind of affected the image a lot. So I had to think of a way to make it work, because ultimately I couldn't go back to O'Gara Coach and say, hey, can I take the car out and do a shoot again? That just, it looks bad, and you don't want to do that. So I came up with this idea of, with the shaky footage, I could create a more chaotic kind of quick cuts, like a lot of movement, a lot of action, and that storyline, that was all changed in the actual edit itself. That was not something I came in prepared to do. I wanted something like smooth, very Malibu, kind of chill, sexy, buttery shots, slow moving across the vehicle. That was the plan, and I wasn't prepared for it, and I didn't get the guys prepared for it, and that's ultimately on me, because it was my idea, and it is my creation and project that I wanted to put together, and that's what I was left with. But I also think that when you make mistakes and you're able to take a step back, look at it from a top-down approach, and understand that I still had great footage, I just needed to use it in a different capacity. So I changed that storyline. I think that it turned out for the better, because it gave me like this really aggressive, cool, kind of manic vibe, which really goes with the 675 LT, because that car is so like raw and aggressive, but can also be composed. So it worked out for the best for me, but it definitely taught me a lesson to always bring a stabilizer if I'm going to be doing rollers or any type of shot. So guys, keep that in mind. Always make sure that you have some sort of stabilizer with you, whether it's in-body stabilization in your camera and you have a nice firm grip that's able to keep your hand steady, or have a handheld stabilizer. Just make sure that you understand that when you're riding in a car and you're getting rollers, that you're going to have some bumps and shakes, and you need to be prepared for it in your edit. All right, so first problem, and we're 30 seconds into a shoot. This guy.
So I think we need some sort of, like a gas spring would be pretty dope, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know if we have that today.
no, I don't think so.
We have that piece.
The idea is so good though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, what are we gonna do?
And mistake number 3. I should have used a triple mount suction cup for the 360 camera arm, because ultimately the way that it was mounted, since you only have those 2 points that are coming like this, the only way for the camera to go is like this under some sort of force. And when I ripped the 675 LT, that first straight ahead, the 360 camera went whoosh, just dove straight back. And I mean, you could see it right there in the footage. When you have those type of mistakes, you got to be able to work around it. And I think that we used it to our benefit a couple of times with that arm falling back. It gave a cool vibe of like that car just taking off and the camera throwing back so that you could see the back of the vehicle taking off. I thought that it was cool. It worked out great. But ultimately, I learned my lesson that, you know, I do need a triple mount suction cup to give, you know, the stabilization right there on the backside. So, you know, when it's coming back, you know, it would have been taken care of. And I'm sorry for my dog barking. Is Buttercup. Okay, so after looking at playback,
It was a happy mistake, actually. So what happened was, obviously with the wind and, you know, the car going forward, it's gonna bring this down. However, that gave us more of a lower angle shot, which actually looks really good.
yeah, it looked really cool.
Yeah,
It looked really cool.
I like it. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive a little, or he's gonna drive a little slower, and then that way we can still get that third perspective or third person view. And then after a while he'll just go a little quicker, but I think we're gonna keep it. And then mind you, these are like quick shots, so even if we get like 2 or 3 seconds in it with this like height, I think we'll be okay. So.
Yeah, I agree. Sick.
Dude, awesome, bro.
All right, so we made it out to the ocean, right here at the city limits of Malibu. Armando and Connor are actually getting into the SQ5, and we're gonna get some rollers, but we also want to show you guys like just what the Insta360 Evo looks like as it's going down the road, because it's such an epic shot that thing has been giving us. And I think it's a very underrated tool that I think a lot of you guys are gonna start using very, very soon and add it to your GoPro arsenal and anything else in the vlogging and even in the automotive space. There's so much use for it. So we're gonna get some shots of that, and then we're gonna start moving on to the next parts of the shot list where we're using the Insta360 out the window, getting some wheel shots, and then we're gonna get some rollers. So we'll get some photos, some video. Hopefully we'll get some good wallpaper out of it for you. So here we go. Oh God, almost lost the camera. All right, so we are pulled over, I think we're beyond El Matador Beach, but we have now pulled over. We're done with the Insta360 stuff. I think we're almost done with our GoPro shots. Now we need to get some side-by-side rollers. We'll take care of that. Armando's gonna hop in the car and we're gonna fake some shots in the interior of like kind of doing some paddle shifts, and also get, you know, some of the tachometer just going vroom, 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 just kind of doing a lot of that. So we're getting close. It's a little hazy out here, which I kind of like, but we're still waiting for the sun to go down a little bit more so that we can get, you know, hopefully that like epic beauty shot. If not, you know, I think we're getting some dope stuff right now. So, you know, fingers crossed that the day ends well. I mean, you guys would have already seen the end product by now. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, man.
Okay, sweet, we're ready. So we stopped at Neptune's Net for a quick buy. We needed to help the dealership with the car for a second so that they could show it to a potential buyer. So we stopped here. Thought it was a good place to meet up, and see if you guys can comment down below and if you recognize where this is from. I think that would be an interesting survey of,
right?
You know, kind of checking the pulse of
Let's
the
see
automotive.
the car people, right?
Yeah, the pulse of the automotive community. See who knows what. So yeah. So now let's get back to filming this thing.
All right, cool.
set? All right, so we're out here right by the ocean. We found this amazing spot, and I know that, you know, many of you guys are gonna tell me that, oh yeah, buddy, that's where they do a lot of car commercials, blah, 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 blah. You should have already known about that. Of course I already knew about it, that's why we're here. The boys are setting up some gear right now. I know Armando was, you know, doing a video and working with some things with Edelkrone, which is an incredible company for, you know, all of you, you know, camera gear geeks and nerds. They have amazing sliders and, you know, motorized gimbals and products. Make sure you keep an eye out on that with Armando's channel. The link for his channel is in the description down below. But let's go check out what they're doing. All right, what are you playing with right here? C200?
This is the C200 with the 16 to 35. And we're going to be actually recording this on the Blackmagic cinema camera down here on an Edelkrone slider, which is going to be pretty epic.
Ah, so this is the new Edelkrone, huh?
Yeah, this is awesome.
This little sucker. It can be mounted on the ground like this with these little tiny feet, which is pretty dope. Or you can mount it on a tripod if you need to get it up higher.
Ah, sick.
And since this car's so low, we need to go as low as
possible, yeah.
So you just got this Blackmagic as well, right?
Yeah, so I just picked it up. It shoots in RAW, which is great. It's only like $1,400 for the camera, which is amazing. 120 frames per second in 4K. I mean, it's a beast. So we're gonna try it out. And I have a speed booster that converts it more like a full frame camera.
Oh wow.
So should be dope.
Wow. Well, I'm excited to see this, man. Again, I can't tell you guys enough how much I appreciate you coming and helping me out.
No, man, thanks. I mean, I love to play with these cars.
For the record.
Well, guys, that's it for this little tutorial. We're about to do some drone chasing down the PCH. They're gonna follow me in the car, and we're gonna fly the drone, try to get some dope shots there. Gonna get some interior 360 stuff, see how that plays out, and then we're gonna return the car, unfortunately. But the good news is that we're gonna be doing a lot more dope videos like this. We're gonna be creating a lot more mini movies. We're gonna do tutorials. We're gonna have coffee. We're gonna have cameras. We're gonna have cars. Everything that I love and everything that hopefully you love as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, do all of the cool things that we do here on YouTube and on Instagram, and follow all the social links. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I can't wait to create more with you. And by the way, I don't know why I keep doing my hands like this.